Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and yes, I've been getting your messages about how Spin Master has been talking about a Bakugan reboot. They've actually been talking about it for the better part of 2 years, but we basically got another article that came out saying that it was a planned reboot for 2018 or 2019. So, yeah, I've read the article. It's right here, and there's a reason that I haven't been terribly excited about that, and that's because the source of all of these rumors of a Bakugan remake have been things that are within the company. Like the source of this latest announcement was the third quarter financial results conference call. This was a talk with investors and businessmen and people inside the company. It's not really something that has to do with something to the public. It does not mean that the project has congealed into something serious. Personally, I'm waiting for like a sizzle reel or a press release, something announcing to the public that this thing that they have been planning is going forward, has been committed to, has reached a stage that they feel comfortable talking about it. Because things get canceled all the time. Promises get broken, stuff like that. Monsuno, from what I could tell, had a complete second lineup ready. They had a second season ready, and then I don't think either of those came out. The second season might have come out somewhere, but the second line of toys, which I did get pictures of, never came out. So just because they're saying that a Bakugan remake is going to happen to their investors in private meetings doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually going to happen. I mean, the fact that they're saying it might appear in 2019 instead, that's already a step back of a year from when they first started talking about it. Now, I haven't forgotten Bakugan. I am very well aware that Bakugan is the series that got me my start. It's why I still have this set up here. It's why I still use the Baku Frisbee in my videos. It's why I have a Bakugan poster and Max's Dragonoid in the background on the couch, because that is to commemorate where I got my start. Believe me, if something like a press release hits, or a sizzle reel hits, or like product images hit, I will go ballistic. I will probably be all up there with you, but for now, I'm just staying cautiously optimistic. The original Bakugan came out in 2008? Like almost 10 years ago, so I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea to try a reboot, especially with the success of Turning Mech Card in Korea, although I don't know if that's translated to American sales yet. I don't think Turning Mech Card's even been released in the United States yet. I don't know how it's been doing in Canada, and nobody from Canada is getting in contact with me to help me get any of the English language ones that have been released, but go figure. As for how a Bakugan remake should be, I would honestly go with the back to square one approach. It has been 10 years since the first Bakugan came out, and it has been 6, I think, since Mectanium Surge ended, and honestly, I don't think I even finished Mectanium Surge because the show had gotten really dull by that point. But honestly, guys, I think they would have to jettison Dan Kuso, or at least invent him into a completely new character and shed all of the baggage of the previous set, because that's one thing that the original set had. It was baggage. There were kind of 2 things that really helped Bakugan grow to prominence. Well, 3 things, really. One was the fact that for a while they were actually really scarce. Apparently one of their manufacturing plants burnt down, which meant that for a while Bakugan were hard to find, and they had that sort of that rarity effect. The more difficult something is to find, the more you desire it. It's kind of the same with a lot of hot holiday toys like the NES Classic or Hatchimals, or right now I think it's Fingerlings, and I know it was the case with fidget spinners when they first came out, and now that they're everywhere, nobody wants them. The second one was that they were inexpensive. The original Bakugan were what, $3, $4? I know for years the starter packs, like clean through New Vestroya, they were just $8 for a pack of 3. Bakugan were cheap, but molds got more complex, designs got more intricate, and more special features started to be added, and eventually the regular Bakugan by themselves were like $7, $8, and by the time this series had gotten that out of hand, it was kind of over for them. Same with all of the support pieces. I actually made a joke in one of my earliest videos that soon there will be more support pieces than there are Bakugan, and by gum, a year later, that's exactly what happened. you could have like 5 support pieces in your deck with just 3 Bakugan, and that was, well, not just 5, like 6 or 7 if you included the special evolutions. It got kind of crazy. But like I said, that was it lost a lot of its elegant simplicity, and a lot of that elegant simplicity carried over into the Bakutech line, which was the line that was exclusive to Japan. I mean, they were fancy, high-quality Bakugan, which probably hurt their chances of coming out in America, but they're still very good Bakugan. They're solid and round, they're appealing, they're fun, they're slightly customizable, which I don't think is as big a deal as I think a lot of people emphasize it to be, but they definitely held on to the spirit of what made Bakugan great, better than a lot of the stuff that Spin Master was putting out by the end. But like I said, if Bakugan is to work, it needs a fresh start. It needs to kind of go back to square one, maybe dump Dan, maybe not, regain that sort of simple joy that it had in its original iteration. And I think it could probably do fairly well. It's launching to a new generation of people. It's starting to reach that era where the people who were playing it as kids have grown into teenagers, maybe even college age, and have started to wax nostalgic for it. So that is that's my stance on the rumored Bakugan remake. Like I said, just a rumor, guys. Don't get too excited just yet. But believe me, I'll be right there with you when something official and public announced comes out. And until next time, this is Kodak signing off.